This program is designed to provide general information with regards to the subject matters covered. This information is given with the understanding that neither the hosts, guests, sponsors, or station are engaged in rendering any specific and personal, medical, financial, legal, counseling, professional service, or any advice. You should seek the services of competent professionals before applying or trying any suggested ideas.
Hey there, it's Brian Sebastian, movie reviews and more. And if it's Tuesday, it's first of all, we're always live. So this is a show number 130 live shows in a row. And the exciting show about this was going to be a kids show. And I had to throw in a couple cookies in there and things like that. And this, all of a sudden, this adorable young lady popped in. I look forward to it because I've been watching her. I actually followed her either today or yesterday too. And it was fun because I'm looking forward to seeing her skate in person. Since she helped go to, she went to the opening of the Netflix skating rink in Santa Monica. And I know she loves training. See, I knew I'd get a smile out of her. And I know she's got this great thing because it's always about having that right coach. It's about having the right training. And then, you know what? We have this guy, this strange guy from San Francisco thrown in. You don't know, but he makes and he owns chocolate chip cookies. So I had to throw that in because see, she smiled a little bit. It's about chocolate chip cookies and skating and hot cocoa and things like that. And we have a tea person coming on. I hope he remembers because I didn't get a chance to call him today as I was so busy. But the other thing about that is live on K4 TV, K4 HD radio, can't even get it out of my mouth today. Talk for Media, Talk for Radio. iTunes 247 out of Franklin, Tennessee, and streaming on over 100 outlets right now around the world. And I'm really, really happy about that because it's been a really good year for us. And then so we have one of our newest co-hosts. She's always been in line with us. She just didn't know it. Carol Register. Carol, tell them who you are, where you're coming from. Go ahead.
Hi, I am Carol Register. I am the co-host of the fabulous Unleashed and Unstoppable podcast. And I love working with female leaders and CEOs, business owners, to help them scale up their wealth. I am a neuro coach, and I created the Neuro Wealth Method, which combines neuroscience with principles of wealth, which are universal wealth laws. So that's who I am, and that's what I do, and I absolutely love it.
Now, Golden Gate Cookie Guy, I just like to call him that. But I just love that title. I love that name. Let's talk about chocolate chip cookies for a minute, and then we're going to get into this young lady over here and why ice skating is really good and what she wants to accomplish at her age. Talk about chocolate chip cookies because everybody likes chocolate chip cookies, especially this time of the year, don't they? See, she raised her hand. She raised her hand.
I'll have to send you some for sure. Yeah, my name is Brennan. I'm the owner and operator and dishwasher, cleaner, grocery shopper, everything for Golden Gate Cookie Co. I am a one-person business, as you can imagine. It's quite difficult sometimes, but tons of fun. I, for the past 10 or so years, worked in education, mainly as an ESL teacher. But I started Golden Gate Cookie Co. in September of 2023. So I just celebrated a few months ago my 1-year anniversary. And the funnest part about my business is that I teach a chocolate chip cookie baking workshop here in San Francisco, California. And it is so much fun. I get to meet people from all over the world and share with them American culture, American food, and teach people, especially people who are visiting San Francisco from other parts of the world, that there's more to American cuisine than just hot dogs and hamburgers and soda.
And that's a great thing.
Yes.
Now, this young lady who's smiling because she heard cookies, she heard shopping, all of a sudden she liked that. Tell us who you are, where you're coming from, because I live in California, but I'm in North Carolina right now. But tell us who you are and why you're on Movie Reviews and More, and then we get to Lawrence Charles in a minute, because you're special. You are one of a kind. I've seen you train. I've seen some of your videos. You are spectacular. Tell us who you are, where you're coming from.
I'm Aalia, and I come from North America, and I love this sport a lot, and it's very fun.
It is
Wow.
fun.
Yeah.
Did you like going to the Netflix opening in Santa Monica? Wasn't that fun?
Yeah, a lot of people.
Yeah. And a lot of them were watching you too. Did you know that? Hey, so let me ask you this: do you like chocolate chip cookies too?
Oh,
What do you
okay.
like about them? Because he's going to talk about that. Because chocolate chip cookies, hot cocoa, tea go along with all of these things. And I know. Do you like tea too?
I like chocolate chip and hot cocoa more than tea.
See?
She's going to get the tea because I have a feeling your parents drink a lot of tea. I have a feeling. Yeah, see, I knew it. Talk about this, and then we're going to get to Lawrence Charles in a minute and have Lawrence introduce himself. When did you know you first wanted to skate?
Huh?
When did you first know that you wanted to skate?
Well, it's not me. It was my dad. So my dad went to this rink called Pickwick Burbank Rink, and it's called Aalia Kings. And he saw Mirai Nagasu. He was working. He saw Mirai Nagasu, so he thought I could skate. And this is how I skated.
Well, that's a good thing. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to Movie Reviews and More. And then we're going to go back around to you in a minute. Lawrence Charles, I'm glad you popped in. I didn't get a chance to call you today. But you know what? I'm here dipping my tea, not doing it the right way, knowing that he's going to come on and tell us how to do it correctly. Because when I met you in Malibu, you made a raspberry tea for me, which I can still taste. And I'm like, it's how he did it.
Ooh.
And I was like, why can't I make a good tea? Lawrence Charles, tell us where you're coming from. What makes you special? Because I didn't even know your history. He was just at a booth. He was just someone there with tea. I'm like, he's got to be something. There's got to be more to this guy with just tea in it. And it was. Tell us your background, because your tea, I didn't know it was around the world, because she briefly talked to me about stuff. But when I started reading up, I'm like, I didn't know he did all of these things. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Yeah, thank you. Can you guys hear me okay?
You're
Yeah.
good.
Excellent. So my name is Lawrence Charles. I'm the founder of Charles & Company. I like to tell people we're a luxury brand centered around tea culture. And so the core of our business is tea, and that's what we believe in. That's how our story is told. That's what we do. In fact, I'm actually in Beverly Hills right now doing a movie premiere, and it's a private showing. And we're one of the key sponsors here for this review.
Nice.
So yeah, we were having a little bit of fun here during the holidays.
Wait a minute. What movie am I missing? Which one is it?
So
Because I bet you I was supposed to be there.
yeah, so let me walk around. Where it's an independent film, and if I can, let me see. Can you guys see there? There's our logo and
Oh,
everything.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
supposed to be there. Lawrence, I was supposed to be there, but I'm in North Carolina.
Ah, come on. Well,
It's gorgeous.
thank you. It's a beautiful venue, and of course, the way that life works is, especially during the holidays, you find out that it is very close to the time that you come on live, and you're in the middle of a really big event. So here I am.
I've been there. I get it. And anytime you got to pop off, don't be afraid, because I get it. I've had to do the same thing. How am I going to do this? And when I'm like a major premiere, I get it. Hey, Lawrence, talk about your tea real quick, and then we'll go back to Leah and back to Brennan, back to Carol.
Yeah.
Your tea is really huge in the UK and obviously around the world, but you're that entrepreneur that's done a bunch of things in other places too.
Yes.
I want to say, let's see, because I do everything off the top of my head. So if I'm thinking correctly, obviously he's founder of Charles and Company, a luxury tea brand. We have to mention that because that's really, really important. But you are also Entrepreneur of the Year nominee, which is really important. You're an industrial designer turned entrepreneur. You've been recognized by the city of Los Angeles, the city of Pasadena, Congress, and Senate for all the stuff that he's done, entrepreneurial and civic efforts. That's important. But you've also done other stuff. And who likes your tea around the world? Should it say? I'll have you say it.
Sure. We have some very, very great people, very unique people, especially when you had mentioned the UK. One of our really cool fans is Lisa Nichols, which she is on Downton Abbey. She is the cook there on Downton Abbey. And then also I partner with a good friend of mine, a British actress. Her name is Victoria Summer. We do tea with Victoria Summer. Our last tea, we actually took over the front of the Fairmont Miramar, and we had a big band. Oh, man, it was absolutely incredible. And we was able to raise some money for Teen Cancer America. So for me, a big part of what I do is, of course, make great tea, sell great tea. But, with influence and with responsibility, you have an opportunity to be able to take that influence and be able to share it with others. So you could bring the spotlight on some important foundations that are doing great work that, might be under talked about or whatnot. So, part of my place in this world is just to hopefully shed some light on some really cool things that people are doing to really serve and be helpful. But yeah, I can absolutely talk about the tea and let you know a little bit about the background. But I'll give it to you, Brian, and you spin it back to me, whatever you want me to know, or whatever you want me to answer.
Okay. And I believe me, I understand the time of setting everything up. Congratulations with that, because I can't believe I was supposed to be at the same one. So Aalia,
Thank you.
talk about why you first wanted to skate, why it's important to you, because I know you want to be an inspiration for other kids, right?
Yes. I got inspired by the champion skaters. I really wanted to be like that, so I practiced very hard.
Wow.
See, and that's not easy, because a couple of my other co-hosts were actually really good skaters and things. See, she's got other kids coming in the back, so that's funny. Talk about why that's important. Okay, head Lawrence.
Can I ask a question? So you skate? Do you ice skate?
I ice skate.
Oh my God. Do you know I actually just worked on the Paris game, the Olympic Games. I took care of USA House. And guess who I did it with? It was Brian Boitano.
Wow.
From Canada, really?
Wow.
One of the greatest Olympians, ice skaters.
Here, let's take a look at this real quick. Let's see what this is. Go ahead.
Representing Pickwick Ice Academy, please welcome now Aalia Cheng.
This is like funny.
You keep saying you got something for me, something you want, I confess. You've been messing where you shouldn't have been messing, and now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over me. Yeah. Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over me. Well, are you ready, boots?
Yeah.
Aalia, when you see yourself skating, how old were you then?
I was a young 5.
Wow.
So when you see yourself like that, that's gotta be special, right? Because I gotta tell you, I'm a roller skater, not an ice skater. I still see myself skating like this inside and falling all over the place, going like this. I just can't do it still.
I'll tell you, Aalia, I was a high-level gymnastics judge and clinician for many years.
Oh.
And I know you use a lot of gymnastics and a lot of dance, a lot of ballet in your ice skating. What are your favorites?
My favorite is dance.
Yeah. Oh, I'm right there with you. I love dance. So awesome. Yeah. Do you have a favorite move?
My favorite move is I like jump and spins and they're fun.
Wow. I bet you are going to get amazing at what you're doing. I'm so excited to know about your double axel. That's incredible, right?
Yeah.
Are you working on that right now?
I'm working that right now.
That is amazing. Congratulations.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And then if you like music, Aalia, my other friend Ishmael, he's a horn player. He's a drummer. I can't believe he's a drummer, but he does. We have tea, chocolate chip cookies, a neuro coach, and a speaker, and everything else. And Carol's got her own retreat in Chile. And then we have my friend Ish, who's marched with the Blue Devils Drum and Bugle Corps, one of our other favorite drum corps. And Carol knows about this. So Ish, tell them who you are, where you're coming from, and what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Well, my name is Ishmael, and I am just like any other kid. Grew up not knowing what to do in life and got influenced by music one day and fell in love with it and stuck with it, learned how to play an instrument, marched in a marching band and a drum and bugle corps called the Blue Devils. And now I'm involved with a company called BAC Music in Kansas City. And they have a wonderful program out there. I'd like to tell a little bit more about it a little later. That helps kids like anybody to get an instrument in their hands and get influenced by music.
Hey, so Ish, we're going to go back and talk to you because we have Aalia, how old are you? You're 8 now, right?
Just turned 8.
Congratulations. Good for you. So we're kind of making this about you and throwing everything else in here. So Brendan, talk about why your chocolate chips are beloved of a lot of people, because he actually sent me some and I gave them to the kids at that point. There were 4 and 5. And obviously I tested it. I knew they were going to come fresh, and they did. And I teased them. And Brenda knows this because every time they did something good, I rewarded them with the chocolate chip cookies. And I left them on the desk as I was drinking tea, Lawrence, my bad tea. And it was one of those things where they go, "Can we have a chocolate chip cookie?" And I was like, "Have you been good?" "Yes." And then they just go, "Yay!" And then they ate it. So, Brenda, talk about why your cookies are special and teaching people on how to make them, which I think is great.
Yeah, that's a really great question. So I'm actually a 3rd generation baker. So my grandma was a baker. My mom is a baker. My mom actually owned a wedding cake business as I was a very small child. So I grew up baking in the kitchen with her. And she had this really fun rule that whenever she made a mistake that she couldn't save, we got to eat as much cake as we wanted. So you can imagine as an adult, I have a huge sweet tooth.
Hold that photo right there. Hey, Brennan, sorry to interrupt you. Talk about this photo real quick.
Oh, yeah, great. So actually another part of my business outside of teaching the workshops is I work at little pop-ups or markets around the Bay Area here in Northern California. And so this is from last Saturday, actually. I was at a little holiday market. And so you can see that I have some dog treats here, some salted caramel that I make, different types of cookies for the holidays, a vanilla extract that I make from scratch. Took me about 4 months to make. And also some other stuff. I actually just got back from a work trip to Costa Rica, and one of the things that I brought back with me was some cocoa nibs, which is super fun. I actually, speaking of tea, I make a tea out of the cocoa nibs every morning and convince myself that I'm actually drinking hot chocolate.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Love that.
And sorry to interrupt your story, but
It's
go
all
ahead
right.
and finish that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so as I said, I'm a third generation baker, but not only are my mom and grandma bakers, but my brother is a baker and my sister is also a baker. And so we have a lot of fun at Thanksgiving at our house always. And the recipe that we use for the chocolate chips here at Golden Gate Cookie Co., I say we as if there were more than us, actually it's me, is actually my grandma's original chocolate chip cookie recipe. And so there's a lot of family history baked into it. And it's just so much fun to share that knowledge with other people, especially people who they've only had experience baking with pre-made bought cookie dough at the store and popping it into the oven, which is great. It totally hits the spot, but there's nothing exactly like baking freshly made chocolate chip cookies and your whole house smells like it.
See, that's great. Aalia, what do you think about that?
I want it very badly.
You should come to San Francisco sometime. I'd love to teach one for you and your family.
He's like, Dad, when are we going?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Let's see. Hey, Lawrence, and then I'm going to go to Carol and then back to Ish. Talk about how you started. And is it true that Prince Charles loves your tea?
Well, so it was King Charles II that started tea time in England, and so it kind of helps that I share the same name, as being that I'm Lawrence Charles. You know, the thing for me is that I just appreciate just having like a good afternoon tea, and for me, high tea is generally the best because you're able to have it with a little dinner with just something light, and that's just something that a lot of people in the U.S. they don't really quite understand that high tea is generally the high table is for dinner, and it's a lot of times small game and things of that nature. But so I take that and I actually do these really great events that are big polo matches, different high tea engagements that kind of speak about that tradition of King Charles II and how he integrated that into the aristocratic society in England to give people an opportunity to just socialize, just check in with each other. And essentially Charles and company is just Lawrence and friends. And that's really what it means.
And talk about how you started really quickly, because that's important,
Yeah.
how you took this off the ground, because everybody started someplace, and Ish will talk about that in a minute with BAC. It's not easy to start all these things, is it?
No, not at all. Not at all. I started on my mountain bike. I went door to door, just ride my bike through the Santa Monica Mountains. And, it was just sell tea or die. That's the way I looked at it. And, there were some really great people that just kind of pulled me in and they, let me know, hey, we love your tea. And, my answer back to them was, okay, great, buy more. But these people were the Nobus of the world, the Malibu Farms of the world, places like that. And, and that's how we became, synonymous with a lot of celebrity chefs and working with some really great hospitality, like, the Four Seasons or Nobu Hospitality and, those places like that. And that's how we started. But that's the story.
Hey, Carol, we have to throw in your. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if I may, for a second, Lawrence, I just want to say congratulations, honestly, from a small business owner to an ex. Like, it genuinely brings me lots of happiness to see other people succeed. So, congratulations on how successful you've been so far. Can't wait to see you grow even more.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I so much have been brought to me just through tea. You wouldn't even imagine. I looked at my relationships and the people that I know. I mean, heck, I just hit up my friend for some Bruno Mars tickets, and I'm good friends with his sister, and I went, how is that possible? And it's all tea, that brought me these great relationships. So if everything was all said and done, and this is the height of it all, I'm one of the most successful people in this world.
Yeah. Yeah. Way to go.
Hey, Carol, you have to talk about your place in Chile with this, because this goes with everything that's being talked about.
Yeah, it totally does. I have a little boutique hotel down in the Andes Mountains in southern Chile and have definitely had my hands dirty in the kitchen plenty of times. And I've actually attempted to make my own vanilla too. I didn't let it go long enough. So it was super fun. We do retreats there. We have all kinds of events. We've had some incredible guests, including former presidents, members of the Nobel Prize Committee, famous authors, artists, National Geographic, Audubon Society. Mostly, I love it because the nature there, the beauty is absolutely magical. And it's one of the healing places for me to go and just relax and hang out.
And talk about how you got that, because that's not what you would think of. I have a place in Chile. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, my husband was suffering from mental illness and alcohol abuse, and I wanted to save his life, and he wanted to retire overseas. So we had been looking around at various countries. He met a man in Chile, and the former owners were North Americans who'd had our place with a great reputation for 25 years, and they were ready to sell and to retire. And so I was game. I was like, yeah, I'm going to go for it. And then I found myself, he passed. I found myself there alone, brand new culture, brand new language. I didn't speak it, brand new business. I didn't know anything about it, and put my head down and went to work. And so I'm very thankful for the fruits that have come out of that, the blessings that I have from it.
Lawrence, real quick before you go, because I know you got to go, give your social media links so people can follow you, people can purchase your tea. Oh, Lawrence, did we move you? Maybe we
I
lost
think he
you.
froze. Yeah, I think he froze.
Oh, I think he did too. Yeah, I think he did.
I
Ish.
definitely wanted some of that tea. So
Yes, please.
Yeah, he froze. Yeah, you have to go. Ish, talk about how you do this, because Aalia, not only do you have a future place to go in Chile, some chocolate chip cookies in San Francisco, Lawrence's tea in Malibu, California, not too far from where you are, and then we have music, where in Southern California, not too far from where you are either, where Ish is. Ish, talk about the snare drums, talk about BAC and playing a horn, a mellophone, which is a beautiful instrument.
Will do. Okay, well, again, my name is Ishmael Hernandez, and I'm with BAC Music in Kansas City. BAC standing for Best American Craftsman. And I'll be presenting our Rent My Instruments Virtual Booster Club, which is our fundraising solution. As you all know, when you have a new company, it's hard to get it off the ground. So BBC can offer a profitable answer for any of your groups who might need repairs or quality instruments. With this dollar for dollar program, your group will receive money for every instrument rental fulfilled by rentmyinstrument.com. We've also created an ecosystem, and that will become your organization's only fundraiser needed to handle all rental aspects, tracking your rewards, credits, and you could utilize them for much needed repairs or purchasing our BAC apprentice, artist, handcraft, or even our marching instruments called 8 to 5, which I got the shirt on. And all you got to do is visit our website and take a look at all the instruments we have. The nice thing about the ecosystem is it starts with a rental. Let's just say you have someone like Aalia that's getting into something, but I don't know if I really like it. It's a big investment. So we have this rental program to let you, let's just say, learn to play a trumpet. And after 3 months, you say, you know what? I like it. The kid likes it. I'm going to go ahead and give them a step up horn. A step up horn is like a professional horn. We could go ahead and rent them one. We're one of the only companies that could do that. Rent them a nice professional model so they could begin their musical career. And then at that point, we also offer for your organization that has a rental, a dollar for dollar match going back to your organization so you can purchase more instruments for your group. And the other nice thing is we have step up models, we have marching equipment, we even have drums, which you'll see beautiful pictures of our new drums that have just come out with the wood rim, beautiful sounding equipment. And at the end of the day, it just really helps in getting instruments in people's hands, try it out, Maybe you don't like the trumpet. Maybe I like a clarinet. We'll swap it out. We'll get you something you want. And we're also one of the only companies in the country that if you find a horn you like and get the professional model you want, your parents could actually pay. You get 50% off. That's right, 50% off of what you owe to buy that instrument. So at this point, it becomes an ecosystem of try it, try different instruments, see what you like, and then we'll get you a really quality American back instrument. And we've been in business for 25 years.
Wow.
And Leah, do you play an instrument yet? Because I know you're gonna like music. You like music, right?
Yeah, but my brother plays drums. I
Oh,
don't play any music.
he's in it for a treat because Ismail and myself, we started your age, marching in a band, actually in a drum corps, and in a band, but really in a drum corps. And we're gonna show this video. Let's take a look at this. We're gonna come back and talk to you more about music.
You like this?
Hi, my name is Mike Carrigan with BAC Musical Instruments in Kansas City, and I'm here to tell you about the exciting and new 825 series marching snare drum. The first noticeable thing to talk about is the removal of the snare throw-off. This is unnecessary hardware that's not utilized in the literature today. It saves a lot of weight for the musician, highlighting health and wellness of the 825 snare. The second feature we're going to talk about is the fine-tuned snare guts. This gives the staff and the musicians an opportunity to really enhance and optimize each individual snare drum, but also optimize the sound of the full drum line. The last feature we're going to talk about is the reintroduction of the wooden bearing edge. Over the years, drum companies have evolved into metal or synthetic bearing edges. The problem for that is it's very hard on the wrist and promotes things like carpal tunnel and tendonitis. A wooden bearing edge feels so much better for the musician and sounds absolutely incredible. 825 marching snare drum. Precision, power, performance, redefined.
So, Leah, I'm a drummer too. How old's your brother?
My brother's 4 years old.
4 years old?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, Ish, tell him how we started young marching and not knowing how to play an instrument, but we ended up getting good at that.
Well, I wasn't 4 years old. And by the way, you are absolutely amazing on skates. I tried to do that the other day and landed on my butt in 2 seconds. So I totally appreciate what you're able to do. I started at the age of 14. I was a saxophone player, and drum corps, you at the time could only have brass instruments, drums, or dancers, color guard. And so I really wanted to go on tour, get that experience of seeing the country and the world. And I was introduced to a brass instrument, learned how to play at 14. I'm a little older now, and I'm still involved in the activity. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love what this company's doing to rent instruments, to give you a chance to try different things. Like ice skating. Hey, I tried it. It's not for me. Drums, you don't want to hear me drum. But on this, I did pretty well practicing, the 10, 12 hours a day, every day. And I absolutely loving it. So I totally respect and love what you're doing with your skating and your goals. You're going to go way far at, being at 4 years old.
Yeah. And have fun doing it, right? I think it's so amazing what you're doing, you guys, with the drum corps and with the youth, with what it provides for them. Brian and I have talked extensively about this, and it's really impressive and amazing about what these kids are able to have and do through operating in a drum corps. And now you're making it possible for them to have the musical instruments they need. That's incredible. I love this.
And I really love his idea of the cookies. Third generation baker. Definitely a lot of knowledge, a lot of love that goes into that. And the group I'm a part of from up north, Concord, California, down in the Pleasanton area, you're very familiar with it. The kids, they're not kids, they're kind of grown kids, but they work very, very hard, over 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, dedicated to the art. But before they get there, they got years of experience, like Leah, to work hard every day, disciplined to get there. And then when they finally realize their dream of being there, they definitely need a treat like the San Francisco cookies. So I'm going to have to get a couple and bring them up when I go.
Hit me up.
I think everybody will enjoy the quality because that's what it's all about. When you get into an art form, whatever it may be, it's all about quality. And that's one of the things I loved about BAC, the craftsmanship and the thought that they have, not only in the equipment, but how to be able to get the equipment in your hands. Because right now, financing programs, after-school programs all across the country is a big problem. And BAC has a fundraising solution to help people out. No credit checks necessary. Just give me an email. We'll talk, and we'll get things going for your districts and your programs.
That's so awesome.
Nice.
Wow.
And Brandon, one of the things I'll end up doing, he'll give it to Blue Devils, I'll give it to Santa Clara Vanguard. So you're talking 155 kids. How many staff-ish are you talking?
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff that rotates in throughout the 6-week tour. You're probably talking over 20 people, 8 buses, 3 big rigs, a food truck, a full food diesel
Fun.
that goes on the road. So cookies is definitely.
That's a lot of cookies.
Yeah, but you know what? When you reached into the drum corps world, it doesn't go away. And these things last a lifetime, literally a lifetime. Our relationships are a lifetime. And again, we start, I started going to watch drum corps before I knew I was going to get in. I'm like, this looks pretty cool, but I was too shy. I was her age. And I was like, I want to do this. And if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't have. My mom said, you're going to join the drum corps. I'm like, I don't want to. Inside, I really did, but I was scared. So once you're in it, the bug is it just never goes away. So Aalia, talk about this photo right here. Look at her. Her face just lights up on this. Yeah. What does this photo mean to you?
Already a model.
This photo, it's in the competition in the beginning. I felt anxious, but I know that I could do very well. I know that I believed in myself, and I know I could get first place.
What a beautiful photo.
Yeah.
All right, self-confidence. That's great.
Yeah.
Happy. That's the way it should be.
Congratulations on that. Yeah. Congratulations.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, me too.
It's my favorite one too.
Who gets your outfits? Who makes your outfits? Does your mom make your outfits, or where do you get them?
I wish my mom made my outfits, but it's one of my
hey Gary,
skaters. One of my skaters friends, my skater's mom makes my dress.
Oh, wow.
And the outfit is that's really important. How important is that for you?
It's beyond important for me. I love it. I like the dresses a lot.
Of course you do.
Do you get to pick your own outfits? I noticed you had the little cat ears. I love cats. Did you get to pick the little cat outfit?
No, I didn't know what it was gonna be, and I was beyond excited that I couldn't sleep. And I got my dress, and I was surprised. Like it was a jumpsuit. I thought it was gonna be like a dress, but I liked the jumpsuit a lot.
Oh, nice.
All right, we got about 10 minutes left, and then Leah, then you can go and skate or do whatever you're gonna do. Talk about this, Brennan. Talk about being in business, because when you were last on, you were making chocolate chip and mint or something. People went nuts. That's all I knew. They went nuts.
That's right.
What happened to that? Oh, and Rachel wanted to know about your recipe. She's been dying ever since you were on. What happened to that special thing you were making?
Yeah, that's a great question. So one of the things that I started to do for my business recently is to
wait a minute. Look at Leah's face. She's like, "Where's my cookies?"
Yeah, come on out. I'm telling you, come to San Francisco.
Too.
I'd love to have you.
I'm like, where can I order, Brennan?
Oh yeah, please visit me at goldengatecookieko.com.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, come on up. Come over to San Francisco. It'd be even better. Can't wait to have you.
Awesome.
Beautiful area.
So recently I started to introduce a cookie of the month to my business. And so my December cookie of the month was a chocolate mint cookie, but it actually got started because I was walking through Costco one day and they had this giant thing of York peppermint patties. And I said, you know what, that was my favorite candy as a child. Why don't, you know what, this is the coolest part about owning my own business. I could make a cookie out of that. And so I bought this giant box of your peppermint patties, took it home, and I just tried out different types of recipes, and I finally came to one. So
Wow.
it was a chocolate mint cookie, a chocolate peppermint cookie that was stuffed with a York peppermint patty, and then I put melted chocolate on top of it, and then covered it in candy cane dust. So it
Ooh,
was the most
nice.
over the top version.
Piece of art.
It was so over the top, but it was so much fun to make it, and I love seeing people's reaction to it as they take out their first bite or as I explain it to them, and they're just like, "That sounds incredible. I need to try that right now." Yeah.
Brian, I think we need to have a cookie retreat at the hotel.
Ooh.
It's actually a good idea
You know, I wouldn't be mad going to southern Chile, so anytime.
because he travels a lot too. Brandon, talk about your travels. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. So I actually studied abroad in Mexico City as in my
Nice.
college days for a year. After that, I lived in Shanghai, China for about 5 years, and then I moved back to the United States in 2021. And I have not been to Chile yet, but the closest I've been was Peru, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And I love to travel. I actually prioritize travel a lot. So I just think it's so interesting to see who we share this world with and meet people from different backgrounds who open your mind and also teach you things and things that you didn't know about yourself. And through traveling, we learn so much. And I can't get enough of it, honestly. My husband and I actually are going on a trip to Korea in a few months. I can't wait.
Oh, I've got a trip that I'm planning with my daughter to South Korea. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, that I love that. I love what you said. It's so expansive, right?
Mhm.
And just so you know, I didn't mention this earlier, but we're on one of 5 large lakes. We're surrounded by glacier-covered volcanoes, including one of the
Wow.
most active volcanoes in the country, about 18 kilometers, 30 miles away. And we ski on it. We go to hot springs on it. We hike
Oh,
to the
wow.
rim, whitewater rafting. We have one of the largest black sand beaches on a lake in
Oh,
the
yeah.
country.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah, you
Oh,
love
that sounds awesome. That sounds so great. I can't wait to come.
yeah,
And
it's
that's why
amazing.
after Brazil, I'm going to see her in Chile
Yeah,
Mhm.
for
that's
that
right.
reason.
Yeah.
Hey, Ish and Aaliyah, talk about this. Aaliyah, so your brother's 4, you said, right?
Yeah.
So you can tell your parents this. If they need to rent some equipment, that guy right next to you can get you what you want.
Yeah.
And since your brother's a drummer like I'm a drummer, he might be too young for that, but there's different types of snare drums, isn't there, Ish?
You know, we're actually developing a smaller drum for younger kids, just like your age, to get them started early, like in elementary, junior high school. Not only so they're not light, but just smaller, so you can be the little drummer boy, the little drummer girl, and get your career started. And again, I love the fact everybody loves to travel because the one universal language is love and music.
That's so true.
Hey, Leah, we got a couple minutes left. What are you going to do for the rest of December? What you have a favorite movie that you like, and what's happening with skating?
For the rest of December, I'm gonna do a lot of skating, a lot of training.
And do you have a favorite movie that you like?
My favorite movie is like a cartoon.
Which one?
It's like a kid's, and it's called Bluey.
I know of that. I have to watch all of these things. You didn't know that, did you? I have to, Paw Patrol, the Tony boxes. I know all of these things. And last week's show, just so that you know, because I have a feeling when I'm going to invite your family to a couple things coming up. When I go to Toy Fest, what kind of toy do you want? I'm going to bring you a toy, and Holly's going to give it to you.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, we love toys. It's Christmas time.
Last week, and Carol was on it last week. Matter of fact, we were talking about toys. So I give access to all of these things. So aren't you lucky to come on Movie Reviews and More?
Yes.
Like, yeah, you didn't know that you were going to be introduced to chocolate chip cookies, traveling, tea. Your brother's a drummer. I'm a drummer. Talking about music, talking about movies, and possibly renting music equipment. Isn't that great? You can't beat that, can you?
No.
Yeah, that's a good
Well, we
thing.
look forward to following your career all the way to the Olympics.
Yeah.
You're going to get there.
Oh,
You can
so
tell.
how can people reach out to you, Aalia? I saw your Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah.
What do you like about Instagram? You got some good stuff up there.
Instagram is my favorite. It's like I like watching myself on Instagram saying old videos. And
That's
it's very fun.
that's funny.
My great jumps.
All right, we got one more last go around. Is talk about how people can find out what's going on for the rest of the month going into the new year for BAC and for you and everything.
Okay, well, we're going into concert season. Marching band season just ended. So if you go to rentmyinstrument.com, you can see all the instruments we have. We even have strings, we have drums, we have concert instruments, marching instruments, and drums as well. Take a look at that. It actually has information regarding the program. So if you have a program that needs instruments and repairs, we do it all, and it'll be your fundraiser. We match you dollar for dollar. Nobody's doing that right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of drum corps are getting ready. They're starting to rehearse. They're starting to audition. So, it's an exciting time to get a horn in your hand and give it a try. You know, like I said, I tried to skate last week. Not for me. I was laid out, but I have a lot of respect for you. And, you know, you just keep at it. You know, you can make things happen. But check us out at rentmyinstrument.com. And you can email directly at Ismael, ISMAEL, at bacmusic.com. I'll respond. And like I said, it's a wonderful fundraiser, matching dollar for dollar with repairs. Good
Nice.
things for the good people.
Yeah.
Carol Register, talk about your speaking engagements, how people can reach out to you, and you know if they're lucky enough to come to your private resort.
Yeah, I would love that. I'm international. I'm actually in 5 different countries, and one of my favorite things to do is help women to break through and scale their wealth, as I mentioned earlier. And I have amazing testimonials, so just reach out to me. I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn. I'm NeuroCoach Carol on Instagram, but you can reach me by Carol Register. Look me up there and DM me and just, let me know what sounds great to you. I'd love to connect and chat. It'd be really fun.
Brennan, talk about this. What's your specialty for this month again? Do you have something already set for January and February, or was it just spurred a moment for you? Or was it a surprise?
Well, actually, it's a surprise, but I was wondering if I should share the January secret with you since we're almost.
It's around the corner.
You think we should?
Aalia, should he tell us what cookie he's going to make for us for January? Should he?
Yes.
Should he tell us what cookie he's going to make for us for January?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So here's one idea, and it's a bit wild, so stick with me here. It is a cookie based off of Nutella, but it doesn't stop there. So it's a chocolate hazelnut cookie that's going to be stuffed, because recently I'm on a whole stuffed cookie thing, and it's not only going to be stuffed with a giant glob of Nutella, but it's also going to be stuffed with an entire Ferrero Rocher. So it's going to be a Ferrero Rocher, a glob, a huge helping of Nutella, all wrapped in an incredibly warm, delicious, soft chocolate hazelnut cookie. So
I'm in so much trouble.
Yeah. But I also just recently introduced a matcha cookie as well, a brown butter matcha, and that has been super, super fun to sell, especially here in the Bay Area.
Yeah, that sounds amazing, actually.
It's so good. Yes. Actually, I was making those matcha cookies a few days ago for the first time, because you have to test the recipe a few times before you decide on one. And so the one that I finally decided on, I knew I had to decide on it because I was eating my first one, and then next thing that I knew, I was 4 cookies in. And I was like, oh, wait, Brendan, stop eating. This is 4 cookies already. Okay, this is the recipe I have to use then.
And social media links real quick.
Yep, everything is Golden Gate Cookie Co. You can find me on Instagram there, or you can come to my newly dropped website, which is goldengatecookie.co.com.
And Aalia, you get the last word. Where can they come see you perform next? Do you know?
Maybe in the United States.
Great.
And anywhere in Santa Monica?
Yes, Santa Monica is the best. I would love to go Santa Monica.
Okay. All right. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming on. Aalia, thank you for coming on. I'm going to call Holly later and see if I can get you some cookies and invite your family to a couple things coming up. Ish, we will talk to you soon. Thank you for that. Carol, obviously, thank you. And Golden Gate Cookie guy, Brennan, thank you for what you're doing, because we've had a lot of people ask about you. So I like that idea, Ish. So he's going to order Blue Devil cookies and give them to the kids, and I'm going to order from the Santa Clara Vanguard and give them to them.
I would love that.
So that's a huge order, so that you know. So they'll definitely like that. So I want to thank everybody for coming on, and I always say this: have a good night tonight, a better day tomorrow. You see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours. I'm Brian Sebastian. This is Movie Reviews and More, and we will see you next week.